It began on an ordinary night, the kind of night that disappears from memory the moment it ends. The campus was quiet. My roommate was away for the weekend. Rain tapped softly against the dorm window, and exhaustion pulled me under faster than usual. Everything felt normal, until I woke up. Not because of a sound, not because of a nightmare. I woke because I felt watched. You know that feeling, that sudden certainty that someone is staring at you from the darkness. My eyes opened slowly. The room was black except for a faint glow from the streetlights outside. Without thinking, I looked toward the corner of the room. For a second, I thought I saw something. A shape, tall, motionless. But when my eyes adjusted, the corner was empty. I laughed at myself and rolled over. By morning, the fear felt ridiculous. Lack of sleep, too much caffeine, an overactive imagination. Just to prove it, I set my phone on the desk that night and recorded myself sleeping. I wanted evidence that nothing strange was happening. The next morning, I watched the footage. Hours passed in seconds as I fast-forwarded through the night. Everything looked normal. Then, the timestamp reached 3:14 a.m. I froze. Something appeared in the doorway. A figure, tall and impossibly thin. It didn't walk into the room. It was simply there, standing, watching. My stomach dropped. The figure never moved, not once. It stood there for nearly 20 minutes, facing my bed, facing me. Then the video glitched. When the image returned, the doorway was empty. The figure was gone. I searched every inch of the dorm, the closet, the bathroom, under the bed. Nothing. No footprints, no signs of entry, no explanation. That night I couldn't sleep. Every shadow looked alive. Every sound felt wrong. I kept checking the clock. Midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Then 3:14 a.m. arrived. And I heard it. Breathing. Slow, wet, heavy. The sound wasn't coming from the hallway. It wasn't coming from the window. It was coming from beneath my bed. Every muscle in my body locked. The breathing continued. Closer, slower, patient. I leaned over the edge of the mattress, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might stop. And that's when I saw them. 2 pale eyes looking directly at me, not blinking, not moving, just watching. I stumbled backward and hit the wall. The moment I looked away, the breathing stopped. Silence filled the room. When I gathered enough courage to check again, there was nothing under the bed. Nothing at all. The next day, I started researching the dorm building. I needed answers, anything. Hours later, I found an old article buried in the university archives. 20 years earlier, a student had vanished from my exact room. No witnesses, no evidence, no body. Just gone. The investigation found nothing. The case was never solved. Most people had forgotten, but not everyone. Online forums were filled with strange stories. Students waking in the middle of the night, feeling watched, seeing shadows, hearing breathing. Always at 3:14 a.m. Always in the same room. I should have left. I should have packed my things and moved out immediately. Instead, I made a terrible decision. I decided to record one final night. One last piece of evidence, one last chance to prove I wasn't losing my mind. I placed my phone on the desk, pressed record, and forced myself to sleep. The next morning, my hands shook as I opened the video. For hours, nothing happened. Then, 3:14 a.m. appeared. The room darkened, the camera flickered, and something moved beneath my bed. Slowly. A pale hand emerged first, then another, then a long, twisted body crawled into view. The creature unfolded itself like it had too many joints, like it wasn't built correctly. It rose to its full height beside my bed and stood there, watching me sleep. Minutes passed, then hours, 3 entire hours. The creature never moved, never blinked, never looked away. It simply watched, as if studying me, learning me, memorizing me. Then, just before sunrise, it finally leaned forward, closer, closer, until its face hovered beside my ear. I expected it to attack, to whisper, to do something. Instead, it remained there for several seconds. Then it turned and left. I replayed the footage over and over, trying to understand, trying to hear what it had said. Eventually, I slowed the final moments, frame by frame, and that's when I noticed something that still keeps me awake at night. The creature wasn't whispering to me. It wasn't looking at me at all. It was staring directly at the camera. And behind the camera, in the darkness where no one should be there, was another figure, taller, darker, watching both of us, waiting. Ever since then, I haven't slept comfortably. Sometimes I wake up at exactly 3:14 a.m. Sometimes I hear breathing beneath the bed. And sometimes, when I check my phone recordings, I find a single frame that wasn't there before. A frame showing the creature standing beside my bed, looking directly into the camera, as if it knows I'm watching, as if it knows I'm still here. And every night before I sleep, I check beneath the bed, not because I expect to find it, but because I'm afraid one night it won't be watching anymore. It will finally decide to get closer.